Hey everybody, what's going on? Yesterday I said if you guys wanted me to go over my 3v3 arena teams, or basically just some arena defenses, I would do it. And a lot of you seem very interested in seeing that, so I figured we would go in and break down my arena defenses, and then maybe in the future, I'll try to work on some more budget style arena defenses, because a lot of the feedback, I'm getting a lot of people that say they feel like I do, where they're liking it and they're not even sure why. And then I'm getting a lot of people that are saying, it's a lot harder if you don't have a deep pool of champs or a lot of, legendaries. It's a little harder for free to play to come up with that many teams. So maybe we'll do a little short series moving forward, or a long form video of more budget style arena defenses. But for now, we're going to talk about my arena defenses. So the first team that I run, and the team that definitely had the most thought and work put into it, I did a video a while back where I built this team. So I'm not going to go super in depth here, but I do have a video on the channel, a card too, if you want to go watch that. I think they might be a little bit different now, but anyway, it's Ignatius, Tormund, Molly, and Valkyrie. And the thought behind the team is Ignatius goes first, because he starts with his HP burn, and the quicker I can get that up, the better, having Tormund in the mix, because anybody with HP burn and freeze, as you know, just makes him do ridiculous things. So Ignatius goes first, and then next in line we have Valkyrie, and I've got her on a stun set, so she's going to potentially land some stuns, do some decent damage, put shield on the team, and put counterattack on the team. So it's a good start to the fight, because my Ignatius, I think, is just he's not super fast, but I think he's deceptively fast at 220. I think a lot of people aren't expecting him to be 220, so that's probably where people get caught off guard on that defense, and then they're kind of tightly tuned so that there's not too much of a chance they're gonna get cut. Valkyrie comes in with the stun set. Molly comes in with the frost set, and she, of course, throws up her provoke. And then when it's Tormund's turn, he throws up provoke on anybody that didn't catch Molly's provoke, because nobody's usually frozen by then. But he is a bit slower. There is some room for him to get hit between the time that Molly goes and the time that he goes. If I'm going to get cut, this is usually when it happens. But again, he's got counterattack up by now, and he's very tanky, and he's got shield. So the only thing that's going to happen here is he's going to start counterattacking and potentially throwing up freezes, which then lets the HP burn freeze thing start to trigger. It can be a very aggravating defense to go against if for a lot of reasons. Even if you can outspeed, your whole team has to outspeed, because if you've got an Arbiter or somebody, his passive will start triggering. So it's a decent little team. Like I said, I'm not going too deep into the setup on that one, because I've got a whole other video on it, and I don't think they're too much different than they were when I built them originally. So that's team one. Team two is Duchess, Scartorsus, Madame Ceres, and Martyr. Martyr's obviously there for the damage. And the way that this team is set up is I've got Duchess at lead, but I've got Scartorsus on a frenzy set, so that when he takes damage, he gets turn meter for based on the amount of damage he's taken. And I tried to make him decently fast as well, and he is the fastest one on the team. So he's on a frenzy resistance set with really high resistance. So the idea behind this is, if I get outsped, he will hopefully resist whatever's being thrown up. He'll take enough damage to boost his turn meter enough so that he'll cut in between, and then he'll use his A3, which he full cleanses the whole team, and then heals and fills their turn meters. So basically, he's set up to be in a spot of insurance. If I do go first, fine. Then he'll probably do this, right? If I don't go first, probably we're gonna take some AOE damage. Probably gonna catch some debuffs. He's there to undo that and then give my team the turn anyway. Duchess comes in behind him and places, I think she starts with this, so she throws up block debuffs. So we go from being outsped to being in a bad situation to kind of being healed back up, stealing the turn back, having no debuffs, assuming Scartorsus doesn't get stunned or something, and then kind of set up to roll from there. And then Saris, of course, does what Saris does. She's a problem, and I guess I'll talk a little bit more about how I have my Duchess built. I have my Duchess on an immunity set, again, just to kind of reinforce that I built her with this immunity set before I decided to put her in this team specifically, because I was going to try some different things with her. And the set just works, honestly, for where I wanted her speed to be and kind of where I wanted her to fit into this team. So I didn't bother coming in and changing any of it. But immunity, again, it further ensures that unless someone strips it, she's not going to catch a stun or anything either. She's going to be able to throw up that block debuffs, perfect veil, attack buff, and kind of set everybody up. So that is why she is on what she's on. If you want to take a peek at her masteries, they're not even done yet. So how about that? And then my Scartorsus masteries, if you want to take a look at those, you can pause that and match them if you wanted. But pretty, again, we're trying to bump that resistance up, so I figured I would try that out with him. But that's what we're looking at with him. So then again, you got Saris. There's her masteries if you want to see what those look like. For her, we're just trying to get her accuracy up, extend her debuffs, give her a better shot to land her debuffs, things of that nature. And she's pretty good. I'm very happy with my Saris. I could actually level up some more of her stuff, or probably optimize her stuff. It's been a long time since I've addressed her gear, but I haven't really needed to. She fits in well. Most things I don't want to do with her. She's the right speed for my cleave, and she's the right speed to fit into this team and do the type of stuff that she does, right? So she's got the AoE defense break, and the attack break, and the strip, which is crazy. And then, I mean, we all know what Saris does at this point, right? She can be very aggravating on a defense that you can't one-shot. And then Martyr, we have in the mix, if you want to glance at her masteries real quick. Now, she's got masteries from when I was using her in Clan Boss on my Unkillable team, but no, I would probably, now that I'm exclusively using her in Arena, I would probably change this. I might want to get some more crit damage out of her. I don't know. Maybe we'll come in and redo her masteries at some point. But I've got her on a Frost set, and I have a lot of good Frost gear, so I use it a bit. And she's just here to hit, right? She's here to do damage. She's got this one right here that places the provoke and does pretty good damage. And then she's going to start with the defense buff and counterattack. So she's kind of going to buff herself, but with Saris and everything else going on the team, she's usually going to comfortably get around to this next turn where she'll throw this up. So she seems to bounce back and forth for me on what she does first. I don't know what the stipulations are. So the AI does some weird stuff in this game sometimes. But I feel like when I'm watching, sometimes she starts with A2 and sometimes she starts with A3. But either way, that's all she's there for. She's there to kind of lock down with the provoke and do some damage. She's the damage dealer on the team for sure, and she's outputting pretty good damage as she is right now. So yeah, that's kind of the thought between the thought behind Team 2 is hopefully outspeed and just get everything off on turn 1. But if not, Scartorsus is there for some insurance with that frenzy set. Hopefully he gets to cut in, cleanse the team, give my team the turn, and then they can start setting off. And once they get rolling, it gets really bad really quick. There's a lot of debuffs to be thrown up. And then, everybody but Duchess has perfect veil. And there's just a list of buffs on them like this long. It gets really goofy looking when everything goes well with that team. So, and it's kind of different. I thought, I was trying to do something a little bit more interesting than just the same old stuff, you know. So I don't know. I thought this was kind of a fun one. And then my team 3 is what? Is Arbiter, Jack, Bad L, and Monster. So I really wanted to get Sir Nick involved, but I pulled a lot of gear off of him. He's still not bad, but he's nothing like he was. I had him looking really crazy a while back, and then I was trying to get together an unkillable team with him. So I was pulling a lot of gear off and moving a lot of things around, and I think a lot of other champs ended up with his gear. So I just kind of threw some leftover stuff on him now, which is a shame. I'm gonna have to fix that. But so I wanted to use him, but he doesn't have. He's not in a position to be used yet. So we have Arbiter, who, you know, she's Arbiter. She's there to be really fast and give the team more turns, and in this case she's here to do some reviving as well, because it's a very tanky team. The team is designed to just be alive for a long time and kind of outlast. You know, we get a little bit of damage output from Jack. Jack does decent damage. We get some damage output from Bad L with the poisons, and then Monster again. So it's a very tanky, damagey team, but it's more of like a control-y bruiser outlast comp. So again, Arbiter's here to just be fast, obviously. And then we have Bad L, who I've got on a reflex set. Now, I have him on a reflex set because I also use him in dungeons, and when I was trying to stuff with him in Clan Boss, reflex set was nice because the more often he gets to do this, the better, right? He, you know, the full cleanse, continuous heal, poisons. It's already on a 3-turn cooldown when you have it skilled up. So having him on a reflex set can just get real silly, make him really aggravating to deal with. Enemies take more damage when they were under poison debuffs as well. So that's kind of the setup or the thought process behind him. And Masteries, I think, are fairly standard Bad L Masteries. Nothing too crazy going on. I did try this one just because I just thought, you know, he's going to be throwing a lot of debuffs out. So maybe this would be an interesting master to have on him. Seems like it's been fun so far. And I don't think it's a mastery that gets used a lot. So I thought it might be an interesting one. But, I mean, kind of different. I guess you could go debuff extension depending on what you were doing with him, but this seems to be working fine enough for me, so I haven't bothered to come in and change him. And then we have Harvest Jack. So quick look at his masteries. Wanted him to land that fear, true fear stuff, so we went with that mastery on him. And then again, just really tanky, as tanky as we can get him. Immortal set helps him heal himself up a bit as he takes damage. But I like Harvest Jack. I've always liked Harvest Jack. Even when he first came out and everybody thought he was awful, I did not. I was disappointed in his multipliers, if I remember correctly. I was hoping he would do more damage, but upon further experience with him, it would just be crazy if he could do like real nuke damage on top of everything else that he. I mean, look at this. It's like every skill he has, there's a paragraph about what it does. So he's good. He's good. Again, there to be annoying, there to lock down, and he does decent enough damage anyway. So it's not even like it's that big of a problem. But just bruisey, survivey, stuff like that. Who else is on this team? Monster, Miscreated Monster. Again, another guy that's just got, you know, a lot of, not as bad as Harvest Jack, but he does a lot of, he's got a lot of stuff going on. Really here for, again, tanky stuff and the stuns. The stuns are nice to have. More continuous heals, ally protection. Again, just further contributing to the tankiness and the kind of absurdity of the team. Quick look at his masteries. trying to get that HP up. Again, trying to take some different routes, do some different things. Sometimes I kind of want to use masteries that don't get used much. Then 3,000 HP. At a certain point, I guess it's not that big of a deal. You know, with him, he's at 95,000. I don't know that 3,000 is going to make that much of a difference at this point, but you know, whatever. Double Immortal. He's just kind of got leftover gear on him too, which is kind of crazy. He could be faster, but that's a lot of HP for just leftover gear. But with 23,000 base, it's, you know, not that hard to get his HP super high. So, and again, the main thought behind this team, there's no like tight speed tuning or specific turn order. Arbiter is there for turn cycling and the revives, and then the rest of the team is there to just lock everybody down, be tanky, and outlast. I don't think I've seen them lose a fight yet. Even the times that they've been outsped and hit by cleaves and stuff, they generally stick it out, and if they stick it out at all, they're gonna win the fight usually. I don't think I've seen them lose one, so I'm sure they can lose one. I'm just saying I haven't noticed them lose one yet. But that's it. That's my teams. I had some other stuff going on. I'll have to start thinking about some like more budget arena defense style stuff. You know, I'm sure Tender can fit into some. I have talked a little bit about Jingle Hunter. I've got a video about him. So, you know, we'll do some budget stuff probably with some epics, and then we'll work our way down and try some stuff out with some rares and see if we can't come up with some solutions for some of you guys that don't spend a ton of money and maybe are not as far in the game yet but still want to play 3v3 arena and just aren't really sure about what to do about teams. Maybe we'll try to come up with something. And for anybody that sees this and wishes that I had shown you some action shots of the teams, one, I'm out of tokens and I've done a lot of refills. Two, the video from yesterday, the whole background of the video is my arena teams just fighting over and over and over. So if you want to go see them in action, the video from yesterday is the place to do that. But hopefully this was interesting for you guys and helpful. Maybe a little bit of insight as to how to put something together from your own chant box. Of course, if you have any questions, if you want to drop me some of what you've got going on, hop in the Discord. I'll do my best to help you guys get some teams together while I'm working on these videos. And I don't know, maybe I'll even pop into some accounts and we'll play around with some of you guys' accounts, putting together some arena teams or something. I don't know. Let me know if there's an interest in that, and we'll see about it moving forward. But that's it. Low key, chill video. Again, hopefully you got something out of it. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.